I really genuinely do think that we're making another life form, and that might be what those things are when we see the grays in particular. Because one of the things that's happening in a very bizarre way is the lines of gender are blurring, the roles of gender are blurring, and it's also a part of the way we process food. The microplastics in our food are actually endocrine disruptors. There's certain pesticides that are endocrine disruptors. They're like changing human beings' reproductive organs. It's very strange that that's happening, like with the peak of our technology. It also coincides with the peak use of these petrochemical products that are very disruptive to the human body. And you got to wonder, like, I don't think that's on purpose, but if it's just a general, like a law that takes place as these things get more advanced, they become less sexualized. They become, they reach a technological rate where they can reproduce in some sort of a laboratory, and they don't need sexual intercourse anymore. So they don't need the gender roles. They don't need a differentiation between male and female in society. That eventually we become just sort of androgynous, and sex is no longer a part of the equation. So then jealousy is no longer a part of the equation. And then also, when you think about violence and all the other things that come about because of masculine behavior and masculine activity, all that gets eliminated. You become this thing that's essentially a far superior, more harmonious life form than what we are. But their music probably sucks, and their jokes suck, and they suck at podcasting. I would imagine there's probably some benefits to being a fucked up human, but ultimately, we're better. We think life here, the way we live, is far better than Australopithecus, right? We could all agree on that.
Yes.
Fuck living like that. Well, they might say fuck living like us. Fuck living where there's some people that are living in tents and shitting on themselves in the street, and you step over them to go to Starbucks to pay $5 for a cup of coffee. Like, what are you guys doing? Right. Like, they might look at us like, we just driving around these metal boxes with rubber tires hoping your brakes work. What the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you still burning fossil fuels? Like, why do you have coal plants? What are you dipshits doing? They might look at it that way. All the things that we think are kind of fascinating about the way Earth operates and the way human beings dominate this planet. It's in this spectacular way. We can go to a soccer game and there's 70,000 people chanting and screaming together. Those things are really cool, but they might look back at that and go, what fucking dummies.
Studying aliens, studying UFOs, and studying AI, it teaches you a lot about what it is to be human, too. We're a destructive, nasty species, warlike, or screwing up the planet. But gosh, we also do some pretty amazing things.
Yeah.
Can AI achieve consciousness? I mean, it may be self-awareness, but does that mean it's conscious and alive? These beings that we call aliens, are they conscious or are they machines as well? I've learned a lot about, the development of human consciousness and what it means and the beauty of being a human. I think it's inevitable that we do morph into some kind of a hybrid machine. The first person who can put his computer chip, link his brain up to it, obviously he's going to do it. I mean, it's like a bionic man. If you could have superpowers and give yourself abilities and your brain could be quadrupled or 100 times more powerful, they'll do it. And in order to compete, everybody else is going to have to do it too. I will regret the passing of us humans, as flawed as we are. It'll be sad when we evolve into something else.
Well, if this is all a dream and we're living in a simulation, we're at a really good movie. This is a good one.
Yeah.
This one's wild. It's got a lot of twists and turns.
Dude.
A lot of crazy shit happens.
Yeah.
It's always entertaining. There's always something going on. And it's complicated. It's a difficult, biologically, it's difficult to manage. People have anxiety and fear and hate and greed and lust and all these weird things that go on inside a human being's mind. And you got to learn how to manage that to enjoy it the most. So it's this strange dance that you're doing with this biological machine to try to keep it in harmony with this experience and to get the most positivity out of it that you can. But in order to do that, there's got to be a lot of struggle too. Like, it's partly baked into us as well. We have to overcome things. We're designed to overcome things. We're designed to solve puzzles, to figure things out, to have tasks. We do not operate well just sedentary, doing nothing. Right. That just creates depression in us. And it's a fascinating organism. But I think if you could get to a point evolutionarily, if evolution or forced evolution by virtue of technology gets us to a point where there is no longer anxiety, there's no more fear, there's a complete understanding of what life is and that it's in the entire universe and that you are part of this molecular soup that's infinite and that everything is connected in some strange way. And so there's no more fear, there's no more hate, there's no more envy, and this being can operate harmoniously. There's no lying because you're communicating telepathically. There's no more like bottleneck between your thoughts and your ability to communicate them. They come straight from your mind to someone else's mind. And we can eliminate most of the negative aspects of society. All of the aspects of the underprivileged, all the aspects of the disenfranchised, all that will be eliminated. It sounds horrible because it means the end of humans.
Right.
But I think that's probably, if I had to guess, if I wasn't a person, and I'd say, what's the best case scenario for this thing? The best case scenario isn't that we stay like this for a fucking billion years and we have gangster rap shootouts a billion years from now, and we have school shootings a billion years from now, and car accidents a billion years from now. No, the best case scenario is we get better. And it may be the way that we get better, and that these things have already gone through that, and they're sort of shepherding us, or at least observing this transformation, which may take place very rapidly. And it may be very soon that this starts to happen. Like in our lifetimes, we will probably see it. So we went from the answering machine being the holy shit item that you had to have in your house. Dude, people can call me and leave a message. This is nuts. You remember how nuts that was?
Yes, I do.
I remember when you could call your answering machine, it would play back messages. I'm like, oh my God, I'm in the future. You know? And now, look where we are. Just 20 years later. It's like unbelievably more advanced.